Welcome to our second Building Information Modeling tutorial. My name is Oliver Lepertz and I'm a project manager for engineering processes in power distribution. In the next few minutes, you will learn more about what BIM means for the electrical engineering trade. In our first tutorial, I introduced you to building information modeling as an agile and cross-trade working method in the infrastructure market. BIM means that all trades make their contribution to the construction of an overall model of the building, right from the start, and coordinate with each other on the way there, if necessary supported by a BIM coordinator. As the automation and intelligence of building increases, power distribution and power monitoring in the building is becoming increasingly important. Previously, analog building functions such as blinds must now also be supplied with voltage and taken into account in the detailed electrical design. This also makes the planning process in the electrical engineering trade more extensive than before. And many more subtrades have to align. The BIM working method will make these alignments easier and faster compared to the previous way of working. A nice side effect is that time-consuming coordination on the construction site is avoided and errors do not arise in the first place. Currently, however, only a few are aware that electrical engineering trade itself consists of many subtrades. For example, the electrical planner, the panel builder, the installer for distribution boards, the installer for cable planning and installation, and many others are involved in the electrical engineering trade. In the future, they will also have to supply BIM models for the overall model and coordinate them with each other during the planning phase. The scope and level of detail of BIM data depends on the project phase and the role that has to work with it. An architect in the planning phase, for example, has different requirements than a facility manager during building operation. The respective requirements are represented by so-called level of development, LOD for short. The LOD defines which data must be available at what time. The LOD consists of the LOG and the LOI. The level of geometry describes the requirements for the graphical representations of the individual BIM objects. The level of information defines which descriptive characteristics are to be provided for individual objects. The BIM coordinator obtains the required level of information from the individual trades in accordance with the project phases. Each participant then receives only the information for processing that he actually needs. In a nutshell, BIM affects all trades, including the electrical engineering trade, in which the requirements of BIM are currently not yet so noticeable. Compared to other trades, such as heating, ventilation, air conditioning trade, the electrical engineering trade is still in its infancy in the implementation and application of BIM. So use the time to get fit for BIM. Take a look at our white paper on BIM, or learn about what type of BIM data there are and what they contain in our next tutorial.